and I think I still haven't played my best game, but just putting up career highs this year, it was like, oh, this is a good feeling that I know what I can do, and you can't stop it. So I've had a couple of those games this year, and it feels pretty good.
This week's guest, who sat down with us in Utah literally hours before playing in his first All-Star game, is in the midst of an incredible breakout season. Join us in welcoming the newest Jazz star, a native of Finland, and as Andre mentioned, a fellow former Arizona Wildcat, Lauri Markkanen. All the way from Finland by way of University of Arizona. Our Finnish friend, Lauri. Like Mike Lauri Markkanen. Thank you. Thanks for coming, man. How you doing, man? And congrats on the first All-Star, everything like that.
Thank you.
Seeing you doing your thing.
Glad to be here.
Shout out, man.
Well, you were specific in saying Mike Lowry and how to say Lowry.
Yeah,
so how you know Mike Lowry?
It's one of my favorite movies of all time.
When did you first see it?
Sometime when I was a kid.
Are you serious?
I can't remember when that was exactly, but I mean, I've seen it a couple times for sure.
So when you start telling people like Mike Lowry, what? Since you were
it's
a
either
kid?
Mike or Kyle.
Okay,
Either one.
I'm very interested. You're like
That's my hotel name on the road, though.
Oh, now you got to change it.
I mean, this year I've been just Lauri Markkanen, but like last couple of years I was Mike Lowry.
Okay.
Then I recognize. I mean,
Mine
it got
was,
to a point that I didn't need that name. So
yeah, mine was Rod Tidwell.
I was Rich Blackman for a hot second, but I like Miss. I can't give mine out. It's from a Chappelle. It's a Chappelle character though. Chappelle show.
Yeah, but if you pay attention,
yeah, right.
Yeah, it's true.
if you pay attention, he markets it.
Yeah, true story.
Yeah.
Your game has spoken to me for quite some times, and I obviously started at University of Arizona. We share the same. We're alumni from there, but my guy Pete Myers, he put me on to you like early. Hey, pro, this kid right here, pro. And this was when my guy in D.C., he was Dirk, the Knicks.
Oh yeah, Kristaps Porzingis.
So this is when Porzingis was baby Dirk. Right? This is when he was This is when Porzingis was like, okay, he's on the trajectory to be Dirk. And Pete Myers said, this kid right here is better than Porzingis. And I'm like, this is when you were a rookie. So obviously we trying to figure out who guys are. Yeah. And I was like, that's a very interesting take. So from that day forward, I have been watching you very closely. And one of the things he said is you got that swag to you. We call it, you got that brother in you. Our cream series is, flipping that reverse racism in terms of, most places we're the minority. But being a white NBA player, it's the other way. So now you're the minority, and we tap into that. But you know about Mike Lowry. And so now I'm really like, wait, who is this dude?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand too. I would never guess.
I mean, he fit right in.
Yeah.
So, just talk to us about how you got here today. How did you become the basketball player you are? How did you get the disposition you have? Or, was it just being into basketball that you got tapped into culture?
I mean, just growing up in Finland, first of all, just didn't see a lot of NBA basketball just with time difference, and you guys weren't on TV.
Right.
So just see, like, the only games I remember was, like, 2009 finals with the Lakers and Magic. But that was always your dream, just to get there. I mean, it wasn't a really realistic goal, but that's kind of what pushed it forward, and then just step by step trying to make my way in the league, and like you said, throughout Arizona, and just now here, just trying to make it. I mean, that's the goal every day.
So where'd you go once you realized you wanted to try to make it to the NBA? Like, give us a view of what Finnish basketball is like, because, obviously you're one of the first to really make it to the NBA from Finland, correct?
Yeah. So the professional level, I mean, of course it's getting bigger, but it's not like the top EuroLeague that you guys see the atmospheres on social media.
What's the main
all
sport
time.
over there?
Hockey.
Hockey, okay.
Yeah, so I grew up playing hockey and soccer or football.
Yeah.
So those were the three main sports I grew up playing. And yeah, just going out there I didn't even play professional basketball. I just came from high school over there right to Arizona. So kind of needed to get away and learn some new stuff on this fall. So
What was it like, making a decision to be able to leave Finland and just pick up and move to America and go play, basketball in Arizona? Was everybody like, oh, God, you're crazy? Or were they like, good luck, Lauri?
Yeah. Yeah, so just leaving the family, and it's like a 24-hour travel. I don't know how long it would take to get over there, but like halfway across the world, and just leaving by myself. And so it was pretty scary, but just going to Arizona, just knowing that they're going to take care of me, and I needed that experience to kind of, if I really want to make it, I need to be the independence guy. So that was definitely a step I needed to take.
So what type of kid were you? Where and what type of values were instilled in you at a young age, or do you think you just had a natural competitiveness to you? What drove you at a young age?
I think just my family we're all professional athletes, so it's just most of them basketball players, one soccer player, and I think that's kind of, I wanted to beat them in everything so bad. Two older brothers, so always got my butt kicked, but that kind of pushed me, and but that was my childhood. Really, just put your head down and work. You're not gonna get anything that you don't work for. So that was kind of my mindset every day, and just growing up, it wasn't just athletics, but we were competing in everything, just how much you can eat at the dinner or whatever. So just growing up in that kind of environment.
So coming here, your first day at Arizona in America or whatever, what was like the biggest culture shock you had, both on the court and off the court?
He was at Arizona. It was a warm welcome.
But
I assume.
Yeah, that definitely. The AC was blasting. I was freezing inside, and
outside.
My teammate Alonzo Trier from
Yes.
Arizona, he was just making fun of me.
so.
Went to Popeyes and just didn't know what an English muffin was, so he was just making fun of me of that. And there was a lot of stuff like that. I didn't know what was happening, and they kind of showed me around, my roommates, and so they did a good job.
And what about when you first hit the court? Obviously, what was the biggest adjustment, I guess, from the Euro game to the American game, how we, really play? What did you think you had to get? Usually say Euros are usually soft, I guess. Did you think you had to pick up, like, the physicality of it, or?
The athleticism.
Yeah, everybody's talking.
I got here and started laying the ball in, and that was out of bounds, right? So now you just got to go in there and dunk it every time. So that was kind of a big thing to try to. I mean, you're either going to dunk it or get fouled. That was my mindset, but I picked it up pretty quickly after I got my shot blocked a couple times.
And you did one and done at Arizona, right?
Yeah. 6 months, whatever.
Was that the plan, or you just fell right
No,
into
so
it?
actually I went in. That's why I went to Arizona, because it was a really comfortable spot to be in, because I thought I'm going to be there for 4 years. And then around December, January, I'm like, maybe there's a chance. So definitely didn't think about being one and done.
So I want to touch on that point. When was the first time you realized that, this is actually something that a goal I can reach playing in NBA?
Probably throughout that year. Like, I had a good summer in the junior national team leading up to the college year, and then just playing pretty well and kind of seeing my name pop up a little bit more than I'm used to, because just playing overseas, it doesn't really get that recognition. And then it's like, okay, the NBA is a real possibility, and then just got to keep going and stay healthy. And I mean, then at the end of the year, it was kind of like, I got to go and take my leap right now, because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
So,
now, and the psychology behind that, I like when a lot of athletes tap into that, where our brains go while we're in those moments and we're in this college season, but agents start finding ways into our parents. They start finding their ways into our walks to the dorm or our walks to our cars. And now you're thinking, I can go to the NBA, but you still got unfinished business. And so there are pressures there. It's like, so for me, that's where I developed, my sleep deprivation. Like I started having problems sleeping. Like I never slept, just anxiety of hearing all these different voices. And then obviously they don't want you to leave because, the school does well, the coach gets paid more money, so on and so forth. So what was going on in your mind, or were you able to block all that out?
I think just what I said about like growing up and having that mindset that you just got to work for everything and being in school. I'm always being a team first guy, and that was my goal, just to try to go out there and win the national championship. And that really helped me kind of stay locked in day to day, that we got to have a good practice. We got to beat this team to get to where we want to. So that really pushed me. And of course, there's some ways that agents start reaching out and stuff like that, but I think I managed to do pretty well, kind of blocking that stuff out and focus on the main thing.
So the main thing is basketball. Obviously, you got drafted into Chicago. When going into that, starting out, what type of career did you say to yourself that you wanted to have, like the type of impact that you want to have? We know you're still early in your journey, but to go out in there, what were you saying? Like, all right, I didn't expect to go one and done, but since I'm here, the mindset was still kill.
Yeah, so I've had a kind of checklist on my goals, what I want to achieve.
Nice.
And
that's good.
At a kid, it was an NBA, like not really more than that. And then once I got to the league, it was, okay, I got to come up with something more. Obviously, like I said, about the team stuff, it's always to win games and obviously at the end of the day get to mountaintop and win championship. But individually, I put an NBA All-Star, and then there's an NBA All-Star starter or whatever. So I never wanted to be just another guy. I want to make it to the All-Star weekend, and on the individual level, that's what pushed me.
So you started your first year, unbelievable. Obviously, you're killing everybody. The game versus the Cavs, I think you had like 6 threes. I remember playing versus you. You gave one of the best defenders on our team 30 points as a rookie. And then, you see a lot of players come in with a hot rookie season, and clearly, for whatever reason, it kind of dwindled down a little bit. Can you go into your mindset of how you weathered that storm to, go from being in Chicago to getting traded to, Utah and really rising to get back to your goal, which was being an All-Star with you?
Yeah, so I had a pretty good first 2 years in Chicago, and then third year kind of course, third and fourth year in Chicago, they weren't easy. Like, stuff's going to happen, and I felt like I hit the bottom and like halfway through my third year and kind of wasn't there mentally, and so I got to be thankful of, like, not everybody gets a second chance.
Yeah, I was worried about you.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, where my guy at?
I was just like, well, damn, what did he do?
Yeah.
you start going downhill, but then I'm thankful for the Cavs to give me an opportunity and kind of got the joy back of, obviously wasn't there mentally last couple of years. So then, like, we got a good team and a really fun year to be in Cleveland. And obviously then the trade happened, but I got to a great place, a great organization right now, and so I do believe that everything happens for a reason, and I think I had to go through those down times to really appreciate what's happening right now.
So when did what were you telling yourself through those down times? Because a lot of guys we know are really good, and they fall into those pits, and it's like, what happened to my guy? And they never make it out of it. What can you say helped you get through it all? Like, what did you see in yourself?
I think my family, just having my wife and kids kind of helped me out. I come home and everything's really good at home, so I kind of try to not take the bad games to home and be disappointed, but sometimes there was nights that I just got home after games and I was just laying in bed and like doing nothing for an hour, and I was in a pretty difficult spot, but I think just setting the goals, and I had the All-Star goal, and then I had smaller goals for each and every day, kind of checklist that I want to, as long as I put the work in, I think I'm going to bounce back and get the opportunity and get to the level I want to get at. And just everyday grind. I think it was a tough time, but my family really pushed me through, and just focusing on little details.
Beautiful.
So coming into the season, you guys were one of the hot teams and really surprised everybody. And I guess a lot of times outside looking in, people are like, you're a surprising team. But coming in, just due from the past trials and tribulations that you had early in the league, were you kind of one of the people that's just like, I'm not shocked. I know I'm going to come in and we're going to make something happen? Because right now Utah was viewed as a rebuilder more so than what you guys were doing now.
Yeah, so first day I got here, I kind of looked at the guys were playing pickup. I wasn't playing because I just flew over from overseas, and it's like,
you were killing in the international team.
Yeah, but I got in and like kind of coaches gave me a couple of days of rest, and I was looking at the pickup games like, we got some hungry guys, and like I think we had plenty of guys coming from different teams and kind of had that chip on their shoulder. Just they were going at it. I'm like, we can do something with this team, and we just got to get on the same page because, like I said, 8 or 9 guys is coming in from different places, and just being confident that we can surprise a lot of people. So and not listen to that outside talk of they're gonna be bad and not gonna win a lot of games. It's just we want to prove them wrong.
It's always weird when you have to like really trust your instinct because you forget the people that are saying all this never hoop. And when you get in the gym, you're like, I know we're supposed to suck, but we might have some, we might do something. Like, he's okay, he's all right.
Yeah, especially like individually, I knew I was in such a good shape of coming to Eurobasket, and just I saw it in the guys that they're ready to go. They're not like just hanging around and getting to, some teams start off slow and kind of come into training camp and not be really ready to go. So I think that really helped us to get off to a good start, and then we're still trying to figure out kind of ways to keep that going and try to get back to that playoff race. So
now I want to ask you the question. You talked about Euroball, and as NBA players, we know the ones that play on a national team. We understand how there can be a difference in a role a guy has in the NBA and a guy has on his national team. And we always say one of the best national team players ever is Patty Mills. Yeah. Oh my God, he is a problem. But
we haven't played against him, but I've seen.
No, I played against him. Like easy,
crazy, bro.
And it's crazy. Like, why can't we stop this dude? And so, you got guys on the Brazilian team. Spain has guys that never played in the league or played in the league for a hot second, go back, and they got some killers. But it's very rare that you see guys dominate on the Euro side with their national team and in the league. You got your Dirks. We talk about those Hall of Famers, and so I want to know what goes on in your mind. What goes on in your mind in terms of like how you're preparing yourself and what's your thought process on, because you have a very humble presence, and so and you're strong on the court. Like you're a tough guy. Like we ain't pushing you around, and you got the total package. But it's not like you're talking trash, And you had a very humble interview with Draymond. You were saying, Draymond's never really said much to me, but I'm sure if he did, it wouldn't affect you. And so, what goes on your mind in terms of who you think you are and describe your game? You know what I mean?
So I think the trade really helped me actually in a way, since in Cleveland I got the challenge of guarding the best player on the other team, and I really think I did everything for a team and everything they asked me for, and I understand the business side of basketball, but then they still traded me, so I was like I need to just go prove myself now. And then it started from that Eurobasket kind of being the go-to guy and knowing that other teams gonna scout me and still try to win the game, impact the game. And Eurobasket was really competitive with all the NBA guys going back, and so that kind of helped me. I was able to do it against those guys, so now I just got to bring it over here. And I'm always gonna give credit to our coaching staff too. The first thing they said to me, like, whatever I did over there, it's just do it in Utah. And I kind of took that to heart and ran with it.
Thank you, because we talk about that all the time. You talked about this a few times in terms of, in certain places I'm the number one option. Like it's only 1 or 2 guys per team in the NBA that
the opportunity
don't have to change their game.
Yeah.
All other 14, 15 guys, they got to sacrifice their game. And that's a skill set that a lot of people don't understand. Like that can make or break why someone's in the league. Like, can you sacrifice a part of your game and still help the team win? And Evan's like, I came off the bench and I'm the 7th man. And so what's my expectations? Like, if I go out and I'm playing 20 minutes and I get 7, 4, and 5, like I had a great night. but someone might say I didn't help the team, you know, but for you to actually understand, the coaches told me, hey, however you were playing over there, do this. Like, there's no more comfortable way of playing basketball when you know exactly what they want you to do when you go out there.
Yeah.
And so that's just, you know, applauding you for having that understanding.
Yeah, and I think that goes to like just our team again, because my game is not the standstill ISOs, you know.
Yeah.
So I think it was easy to kind of jump into that system, and because I'm playing a lot off ball and getting my stuff from that, so just it's easy for me to do that since I know I'm not gonna, hurt the team with just holding the ball and playing ISO ball. So that really helped me kind of having that system and coaching, and we're really still working on it. We haven't spent too much time. I mean, it's been a couple months into the year, so we're still working on it. But I mean, it's a great place to be and just be surrounded with those teammates and stuff like that.
You say you have a list of goals of obviously being an all-star and an all-star starter, and to come with that, you have to put up a lot of shots. You have to be the focal point, and you have to have confidence to do that. But eventually, to come with that, it's the leadership responsibilities. So how have you taken the leaps and bounds from going before saying you'd be a 4-year player to having, you know, deep dirt pick to finish Chicago to leaving Cleveland, and now you're an all-star, but eventually once you become that all-star starter, everything else that comes with tremendous pack of leadership, and, you know, what gives you the confidence to be going towards that way and stepping up and leading a whole franchise in a basketball crazy city?
Yeah, I think it's the experiences that you see your teammates lead, and I haven't been the who's going to give out the most motivational speeches before the game. I'm more of a guy I'm going to talk to you one-on-one, and it has helped me that I've had teammates kind of lead the similar way. Like now, Mike Conley was on the team.
Yes.
Great dude to learn from.
Yeah, of course.
That's the only thing I don't like about him, but I love him.
Yeah, they said he got one, apparently. But
I thought he had one this year, but then they gave it
one.
to your boy Kelly.
Kelly Olynyk. Kelly he always gets the short end of the stick somehow.
But back towards your leadership.
But yeah, just having that experience, seeing other guys how they lead, and kind of, hitting that bottom in Chicago we weren't winning the championship in Chicago, so just, dealing with those expectations and seeing just a bunch of different stuff. And then I think Cleveland, I always joke about it, I was 24, and there was a moment that, I'm the oldest guy in the starting lineup.
That's crazy, bro.
So I'm more experienced than these guys.
Yeah,
I gotta try to lead these guys. And now once I got here, it's, again, back to Mike. We talked, and I saw how he does his leadership part. And now, obviously, we traded him, but those are big boosts to fill. But I think I'm understanding the role that I'm gonna have to do in the future and try to get better at it.
I think there's a saying, great artists
good artists create, great artists steal. And so I'm only saying that because I've gotten some of my best motivational speeches or, being able to communicate with teammates from someone else. Like Mark Jackson had the best pregame speeches I ever heard. And it's just the gift of gab of being a preacher. But, I use a lot of those things. And you talk about, what you went through in Chicago. No one understands what we go through as athletes in the NBA but us. And so, we have to continue to have those dialogues. We talk about this in the union. And so just using those hardships can really help you become a better leader because, you're talking to a guy who's going to go through what you went through, and no one can tell him how to get through it but you because you've had the experience. Exactly. But I want to kind of transition I want to hear you go into your prima donna mode. Like, how do you view yourself when you're playing your best? We call it Sasha Fierce, which is Beyonce's other side, right? She don't need Jay-Z money. But how do you view yourself when you're just like, I can't miss, no one can block my shot because I'm on my height? Like, what's going through your mind when you're having one of your best moments on the court?
Yeah, so I think I've talked about this earlier this weekend. Actually, I've gotten the question, and I think it was earlier in this year when I'm known to be a three-point shooter, but then beginning of the year I couldn't hit a shot, and then I'm like, I'm still putting up these numbers, whatever, and I'm like, I haven't played my best game yet, and I know just trusting the work once the three ball comes back, and that's gonna be I mean, in my mind, I'm thinking it's a wrap after I get my 3-ball.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a thing that's kept me going, and I think I still haven't played my best game, but just putting up career highs this year, it was like, oh, this is a good feeling that I know what I can do, and you can't stop it. So I've had a couple of those games this year, and it feels pretty good.
Now, who are you looking to for inspiration? You know, what keeps you trying to continue to elevate your game? It could be yourself, but are there guys that you modeled your game after, or certain things you were looking from another player to implement into your game?
Now I'm just thinking I got so much to get better at, and I'm really just trying to be the best version of myself. Of course, you have players that you idolize as a kid, and like I started off from D Wade and Kobe's, and moving to LeBron's and Dirk's, and once I got a little bit older. But I mean, just now I'm just trying to be the best version of myself, and I know how much I can get better at. Like, and we talk about with Coach Hardy all the time, just that we got so much to get better at. And
so break that down for me. What do you want to get better at? You know, what do you feel like the areas of strengths and your areas of weakness?
Well, now playing more with the ball, and just we play with 3 bigs in our lineup, so I'm playing more on the perimeter, and so going back to those guard skills and handling the ball, I think that's a big area of improvement for me. And I know once I get the ball handling a little bit better, and so I can make my teammates better again. So just overall help the team better. And so,
if you could, in your perfect world, what would your handle package be like? It could be crazy. If you say Kyrie Rock,
probably not going to be like Kyrie's, but just so we can run a lot of stuff. Again, it comes once I have the ball more, and I have to create for other guys as well, not just for myself. And that's where I want to get to it, that I can – they're going to be sending double teams in the post and whatever, so I can make those passes that I see the pass, but I might not be able to execute it yet, you know?
That's a good problem to have. You can make a shot, so –
yeah, well, and I didn't know we're natural passers, so we're point forwards. We were small forwards in the NBA, but we were natural point guards. And so people always say, you know, you have such a great passing ability, but we were just natural point guards. But I heard on the Draymond Green show, he had on Kenny Smith, and Kenny was talking about MJ and why MJ is the best player he's ever seen, or why MJ is the best player. And we didn't see MJ after his freshman year of college, but Kenny did, because he played with him at Carolina. And he said MJ didn't have a tight handle. MJ was just darting different places very quickly. He was like D Wade a little bit in terms of, like, you know, darting to the basket, using his athleticism. And Kenny said, I got MJ. I'm just going to pick him up full court because he doesn't have a handle. And he said MJ had heard that a few times during the season, came back after the summer, and Kenny Smith said, I got MJ. Because and he's like, MJ knew what they were saying about him. He said, Kenny.
Took it personal.
He said, Kenny, I got a handle now. And he said, he had a handle now. And he said, from that moment forward, I knew he was going to be the best basketball player ever. Like, it was just crazy. And so, you know, just understanding that about MJ, and, you know, go back and, you know, watch those old archives. You know, watch guys like Rod Strickland, because that's where Kyrie got it from. You know what I mean? Like, Terrell Brandon was a multi-time All-Star. You know, I always tell young guys, Terrell Brandon was nice. And Cleveland guy. And if you go back and you know, just dig in the film, you know, I don't know how much film you watch, but, you know, there's especially those deep, dark moments, I'll always go back and watch myself when I was good. Like, I found a new clip of myself. I was like, I was good. But, you know, it takes you out of those places. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not. I'm not like I'm not that guy. Like, look what I can do. Yeah.
Right. I have a bright future.
I crack on that. I say that to my son. You gonna say it to your kids. I'm like, I play one-on-one with my son now. He's taller than me, and he can't stop me. He's like, you don't miss. I said, Steve Kerr got you fucked up, because I can do this. But, you know, just, you know, we gonna wrap this up, and we gonna let you go enjoy the game. But I do want to ask this question. You know, you got your extension. You know, you got bonuses. Your agents are here. So I don't want to put them on the spot, but I hope you got All-Star bonuses.
Do, yeah.
Good job. But suffering from your success, we always talk about, it's always our dream as kids to make it to the NBA, but we don't know what comes with it. And obviously you learn that, just being down from a basketball perspective. But what comes with, the fame, the fortune, being an NBA player, everyone knowing your salary, everybody knowing your alias now because you accidentally told them, just being open and honest. And but what have you noticed that you could have never imagined would come with the success from a, in a negative way? Not to be negative, but just to give the listeners a glimpse of how our lives are.
Yeah, so just growing up overseas, it's like, NBA looks that it's like just you play basketball and everything's good. You get paid this much money and just get to do what you love to do. And obviously, that's basically what it is. But it's just a lot of off the court. Stuff that you have to do. But I've learned to kind of enjoy it because I know it's not gonna last forever. Just kids coming to ask pictures and autographs, and first couple of years it was like I don't want to get recognized, and now I'm like kind of embracing it. It's fun, and because I don't know when I get old, I don't know if they're gonna know who I am, So that's kind of my mindset. It's not gonna last forever, so do what you can right now, and just try to enjoy the journey.
Yeah. Well, in saying that, I just want to really thank you. I'm rooting for you. Obviously, that. I was just talking to the kid from OKC, from Santa Clara, Jalen Williams. I'm a basketball stickler, so I usually hate people who don't play the game the right way, and there aren't too many guys with the complete package in the league anymore, and I only want to see the complete package, and I feel like you're one of those guys. So I have a very short list of guys who I plan on following when I'm done playing, which is a couple months. So you will be one of those guys. Don't let me down. I will be at the games. I'm, Ryan's my guy. Todd's my guy now. Clark Miyasaki's my guy. D Wade's my guy. Chicago area. So
I'm sure I'll see you around.
Yeah, we'll be around. And then we got to get the Sean Miller guys and the Coach O guys together. Sean Miller kind of split us up. Yeah, that was a dig at him. But I look forward to seeing you more and more, and appreciate you, ET.
I appreciate you. Keep doing your thing, man. Congrats on everything, for real.
Thank you.
And don't let go of that ego. You need your ego in the league.
Yeah, because you shoot 30 times a night, you egotistical.
Keep shooting 30 times a night.
For sure.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, appreciate you guys.
Yep. Yes, sir.